Hello everyone! I'm still in Malaysia right now, specifically in Penang. Last month, I managed to upload at least 2 videos and it was all about Kuala Lumpur. And I hope you did enjoy that vlogs. This time, I will show you this beautiful island that still belongs to Malaysia. What I am about to show you is this amazing heritage spot and I'm going to focus on the Georgetown, Penang where I did filming today. This is my day 6 in this beautiful country, but it is my 4 days total of time spending in this amazing town of Penang. We were staying in Hotel Pinaga for 2 nights and currently at Chawi Piranakan Mansion for another 2 nights. I love to travel the world and share it with you, especially my experience throughout this journey. Buckle up, let's enjoy this show together and join me as I travel the world. Everyone, welcome to Georgetown, Penang, Malaysia. Georgetown is the colorful, multicultural capital of the Malaysian island of Penang. Once an important strait to Malacca trading hub, the city is known for its British colonial buildings, Chinese shophouses, and mosques. Beyond the old town, Georgetown is a modern city with skyscrapers and shopping malls. Verdant Penang Hill with hiking and a funicular railway overlooks it all. Georgetown is the capital of the Malaysian state of Penang and the 8th most populous city proper in Malaysia. The historical core of the city, covering an area of 19 kilometers square or 7 square mile, has a population of 158,336 in the 2020 census, making it among the densest urban areas in Asia. While the city proper has an estimated population of 794,313 inhabitants, presiding over an area of 306 kilometers square or 118 square miles. Located next to the Straits of Malacca, Georgetown was established as an entrepot by Francis Light of the East India Company in 1786 as the first British settlement in Southeast Asia. It grew rapidly in the early 19th century with the influx of immigrants from various regions in Asia. Georgetown's population surpassed 10,000 by the turn of the 19th century and quadrupled within 40 years. In 1826, Penang was incorporated into the Straits settlements along the British Singapore and Malacca, with Georgetown as the territory's administrative capital until 1836. The territories became a British Crown colony in 1867. During the Second World War, Georgetown was subjugated by the Empire of Japan before being recaptured by the British at war's end. Shortly before Malaya attained independence from the British in 1957, Georgetown was declared a city by Queen Elizabeth II, making it the first city in the country's modern history. In 1974, the Malaysian federal government revoked Georgetown city status after the abolishment of local governments, a position that would not be altered until 2015, when its jurisdiction was reinstated and expanded to cover the entirety of Penang Island. In the early 19th century, Penang Island became a center of spice production within Southeast Asia. Spices such as nutmeg, clove, and pepper, produced from the spice farms throughout the island, were exported via the port of Penang in Georgetown. The spice trade also allowed the British East India Company to cover the administrative cost of Penang. In 1826, Georgetown was made the capital of the Strait Settlements, an administrative polity that was also composed of Singapore and Malacca. However, the capital was then shifted to Singapore in 1832, as the latter had usurped Georgetown's position as the region's preeminent harbor. Now let's talk about the port of Penang at Wild Kway in the 1910s. Nonetheless, Georgetown retained its importance as a vital British entrepot. Due to the opening of the Suez Canal, the advent of steamships and a tin mining boom in the Malay Peninsula, the port of Penang became a major tin exporting harbor. By the end of the 19th century, as mercantile firms and banks, including Standard Chartered and HSBC, flocked into Georgetown, the city also evolved into a leading financial center in Malaya. Throughout the century, Georgetown's population grew rapidly in tandem with the city's economic prosperity. A cosmopolitan, multicultural population emerged, comprising Chinese, Malay, Indian, Peranakan, Eurasian, Thai, and other ethnicities. However, the population growth also created social problems such as inadequate sanitation and public health facilities, as well as rampant crime. The latter culminated in the Penang riots of 1867, during which rival Chinese triads clashed in the streets of Georgetown. Also, in the same year, the Straits Settlements was made a British Crown colony to be governed directly by the Colonial Office in London. For Georgetown, direct British rule meant better law enforcement, as the police force was vastly improved and the secret societies that had previously plagued the city were gradually outlawed. Most investments were also made on the city's healthcare and public transportation. With improved access to education, a greater level of participation in municipal affairs by its Asian residents, and substantial press freedom, Georgetown was perceived as being more intellectually receptive than Singapore. The city became a magnet for well-known English authors, Asian intellectuals, and revolutionaries, including Rudyard Kipling, Somerset Maugham, and Sun Yat-sen. The port city was historically a regional center of administration, politics, and finance. During the Napoleonic Wars, Georgetown was a military outpost and later spawned the early groundworks of the Malaysian judiciary and the Royal Malaysian Police. Its municipal council was the first elected local government in Malayan history. Despite losing its prominence to Singapore in trade by the mid-19th century, It remained as a major export hub of spices, agricultural goods, and later tin, achieving immense prosperity throughout the 19th century. Such successes made Georgetown the financial center of Malaya, home to several regional and international banks of the early 20th century, notably Standard Chartered, HSBC, Royal Bank of Scotland, the Netherlands Trading Society, and the Ban Hin Lee Bank. Georgetown also functioned as the headquarters for revolutionary activities by the Tong Ming Hoi in Southeast Asia that eventually launched the Wongchang Uprising, a precursor towards the Xinhai Revolution in Qing China. In the modern era, Georgetown is an important hub of arts, culture, manufacturing, transportation, education, healthcare, and the media in Malaysia. It is still the financial center of the northern peninsular Malaysia and since 1970s, the Bayan Lipas Free Industrial Zone, a high-tech manufacturing hub regarded as the Silicon Valley of the East, became the center of the Malaysian electronics manufacturing industry. Georgetown also serves as the country's primary medical tourism hub. The Penang International Airport links Georgetown with several major regional cities, while a ferry service, the Penang Bridge and the Second Penang Bridge connect the city with the rest of peninsular Malaysia. Meanwhile, Georgetown Swettenham Pier has emerged as the busiest port of call in Malaysia for cruise ships. Georgetown is also the birthplace of Malaysian print media. The Prince of Wales Island Gazette, one of the Southeast Asia's oldest newspapers, was first published in Georgetown in 1805. Stemming from the centuries of intermingling of the various ethnicities and religions that arrives on its shores, Georgetown acquired its own unique architectural styles and cuisine. It has also gained a reputation as modern Malaysia's gastronomical capital for its distinct and ubiquitous street food. The preservation of these cultures contributed to the city center's inscription as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2008. The city's name comes from the original British settlement that was named in honor of King George III. The area before this has also been named Tanjong Pinaga due to the abundance of a tree called Pinaga laut found in the present town's cape or Tanjong. It is often erroneously spelled Georgetown, one word, which was never the city's official name. Such misspelling may have arisen in confusion with other places having the same name. In the 1770s, the British East India Company instructed Francis Light, a British Royal Navy captain, to form trade relations in the Malay Peninsula. Light subsequently landed in Kedah, a Siamese vassal state threatened by both Siam and Burma, as well as an internal Bugis revolt. Aware of this situation, Light formed friendly relations with then Sultan of Kedah, Sultan Muhammad Jiwa Jainal Adilin II, and promised British military protection, while the Sultan reciprocally offered Penang Island, then part of Kedah. Although Light subsequently reported on this offer to his superiors, it was only in 1786 when he was finally ordered to obtain Penang Island from Kedah. The British East India Company sought control of the island as a Royal Navy based and as a trading post between China and India. To the end, Light negotiated with the new Sultan of Kedah, Sultan Abdullah Mukarram Shah, regarding the cession of the island to the British East India Company in exchange for British military aid. After an agreement was signed between Light and the Sultan, Light and his entourage sailed onto Penang Island, where they arrived on July 17, 1786. The area where Light first landed, which is now the Esplanade, was originally a swamp covered in thick jungle. Once the area was cleared, a simple ceremony was held on August 11, during which the Union Jack was raised. Penang Island was renamed the Prince of Wales Island after the heir to the British throne, while the new settlement was given the name Georgetown. Light developed Georgetown as a free port, thus allowing merchants to trade without having to pay any form of tax or duties. The policy's intent was to entice traders from the Dutch ports in the region. The number of incoming vessels rose from 85 in 1786 to 3,569 in 1802. Georgetown's population had also increased to 10,000 by 1792. A committee of assessors was established in 1800, making it the first local council to establish in British Malaya. Meanwhile, a Supreme Court was established at Fort Cornwallis in 1808. Pay attention to this. Why is Georgetown famous? Recognized as having a unique architectural and cultural townscape without parallel anywhere in East and Southeast Asia, Georgetown contains one of the largest collections of pre-war buildings in Southeast Asia. Is Georgetown a city or state? Georgetown is the capital city of the Malaysian state of Penang. It is Malaysia's sixth largest city with a population of about 708,000 with 2.4 million in the metro area as of 2010. Founded as an entrepot in 1786, it was the first British settlement in Southeast Asia. Why is Georgetown in Penang famous? In addition, the city center has been inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2008. Today, the city, well known for its cultural diversity, colonial-era architecture, and street food. It is a booming tourist destination and still serves as the financial center of northern Malaysia. What is Georgetown also known as? Georgetown is a neighborhood in Chennai, formerly Madras, Tamil Nadu, India. It is near the Fort St. George, Chennai. It is also known as Mothialpat and Paris Corner. It is a historical area of Chennai city from where its expansion began in the 1640s. Is Georgetown a good place to live? Incorporated in 1848, Georgetown is a safe and family-friendly community with low crime rates. Not only is Georgetown a good place to live, but you'll find there are endless places to explore. Why should I visit Penang? The combination of British colonial architecture and excellent sandy beaches draws many visitors to this island off the northwest coast of Malaysia. Some of Penang's most interesting sites include the sandy beaches of Tanjung Bunga and the vibrant landscape of Penang Hill. Which is bigger, Singapore or Penang? Singapore is more than 3 times as large as Penang and has been for a long time. Its location in terms of global trade is also far more critical or strategic or advantageous than Penang's, which is a major reason it is far more populous. Is Penang nice? If you want a holiday with lots of heritage, some fabulous food, good shopping, and a generally not overly exciting nightlife, then Penang is worth doing some more research on. How far is Georgetown from Kuala Lumpur? The distance between Georgetown and Kuala Lumpur is 294 kilometers. The best way to get from Georgetown to Kuala Lumpur without a car is to ride a bus, which takes 5 hours and 1 minute and costs only 26 ringgit. Are you still there? Hey everyone, that's it for today. I hope you appreciate this video that I made just for you all. I hope I will see you again on my next video to be uploaded so soon. The continuation of my Malaysian trip. Before you go, please consider hitting the like button and click subscribe. It is the only small favor I ask for you all in order for me to continue having this channel and appreciate the effort I did. Thank you so much. Cess Travel Vlogs, live in Malaysia.